Hello. It's been like two weeks, I think, since the last modular video. Messed up. Not happening again. That's why we're coming in with a VCA modular synth overview. What a VCA is in the context of a modular synth. To continue the series going over, modular synth fundamentals. Well, if you don't know what a VCA is, it stands for voltage controlled amplifier. Now, what VCAs allow you to do is to control the amplitude of the signal that you pass through it. Contrary to the name amplifier, some VCAs do not, in fact, amplify the signal that you're putting through them. They merely allow you to attenuate the amplitude of the signal. And attenuate means reduce force. So you have the knobs called attenuators, as well, because they allow you to attenuate the signal coming through the VCA. And yeah, I'm going to show you how I use VCAs in the system, what cool ways you can use them, all the different types of neat ways you can use them. And yeah, so that's what we're going to listen to pretty much the rest of the video, but this is just intro. This is just introduction, All right, so here is our quad VCA. And on this quad VCA, we have 4 different amplifiers. 1, 2, 3, 4. It says level 4 down there. And then corresponding to input 1, input 2, input 3, and input 4. Now, the way the signal routing on this module goes, anything, if it comes into input 1, it'll go directly down out of output 1 if you're taking it out of output 1. If you're not taking it out of output 1, the signal is going to go to output 2. So if you have something in 1 and something in 2, and then you only take the 2 out and you do not take the 1 out, you are going to have the sum of both of those signals coming into 1 and 2 out of that output 2. Same thing if you have 3 and you're coming out of 3, or if you have all 4 and you're just coming out of 4. So it's kind of like a little mixer as well. I love this module. I think it's great. It's great for what I need it for, which is like a, mixer amplifier. So yeah. So we're going to listen to us using that VCA on a triangle wave, or a sawtooth wave. On a sawtooth wave. So we're going into input 1, and we are just going to go directly out of input 1 into our left channel on our filter, and then that is literally just going to the output. And we're going to unplug that second input because we're just going to get this one signal. So we hear it. And as I'm turning up this level 1 knob here, we are hearing this sawtooth wave. And listen to that. The higher I get that, the louder it goes. Now it's really loud. And now it's quiet. And that's cool. That's a VCA right there. We just used it for probably the simplest reason or method that you could use it for, which is just attenuating a signal. Look at that. Isn't that cool? But we hear that, and that's great. That's fine. It's okay, I guess. But it's kind of annoying. It's going on, and it's not being quiet at all. You know, I want some space in between. I don't want it to, oh shit, just knock the camera. I don't want it to just drone over and on. Well, what we can do here, basically, in VCAs, there normally or sometimes you will have the ability to manipulate the amplitude with control voltage. Like this module here is it's a filter, an amplifier, and an envelope generator. But the amplifier right here, input signal, output signal, the amplitude control is right here. This is our attenuator. But this amplitude input is just a control voltage input for the amplitude, where the amplitude is at. So, cool thing that we can do is we can send these voltage controlled amplifiers, we can send them an envelope from an envelope generator, or, I mean, you could send them an LFO, but you could send them any voltage to control their amplitude position, which is cool when you want to get some musical sounds. So what I just did is I'm going to zoom out a little bit, maybe back up. I hate the zoom out on the iPhone. But I have a Arturia Keystep 47, and on the back of this, there's a pitch control voltage output and a gate control voltage output. And with the gate control voltage output, this pink cable right here, that is going to my envelope generator right here. So when I press a key, I'm pressing a key. You can see that light right there, light up. Press the key, light up. And that light is just like a visual representation of the envelope that it's creating. But that envelope that it's creating, we can use that, which this is the output of the envelope generator. We can use that to go in to the control voltage input of our first channel on that quad VCA that has our waveform in it. And when we do that, and then we play the keyboard, oh, you could hear that for a second, but it's not that loud. And what this does here is, this is also an attenuator that attenuates the amount that the envelope affects the amplitude. So now it's up all the way, and that's loud as fuck. So we're going to turn that down. And if we change that envelope generator, we can get different tones or different envelopes. So now the attack is all the way down, sustains all the way up, decays down, releases down. Increasing the attack. Increase it some more. Increase the release. Increase it some more. And hell yeah. And that's another use for VCAs, which is cool. Those are like two uses. You know, one to just use your attenuator here to turn up or down the signal however much you want. Two, using control voltage to control the signal, control the amplitude of the signal. And there's another way we can use it, and we can use it to control the amplitude of LFOs or any other control voltage signal to adjust the amount that signal affects a parameter that it's affecting. So just to give an example of this, I'm going to use a longer cable because I'm going to need a longer cable for that. Just to give an example of this, I'm going to turn up the amplifier on our first waveform, our first oscillator. And we can hear it. That sounds great. Kind of whiny, a bit annoying. Jesus. I gotta turn that down too. So now when I change the pitch, we're not gonna get different stuff, different volumes. And I gotta do it in arpeggiation right now. But we are going to take, I'm gonna back up here so you can see it all. Okay. Perfect. So we're going to take the signal out of this LFO generator. That's what this module is. It just generates 8, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 LFOs. We're going to use that LFO to control the pitch of our oscillator. Just the LFO. So we're going LFO directly into this input right here, which changes the pitch of this oscillator, and this oscillator is the oscillator that is going into input 1. So we're going to increase the rate. So that sounds wild. Sounds crazy. Because the LFO, it's affecting the pitch too much. The pitch is being too affected. I mean, not too much. Just for this example, it's too much. You know, it's never too much. But what we can also do with a VCA is if we come out of the output of the LFO right here into the input 2 of this VCA, and then out of the output 2 on this VCA. So we're taking that signal and taking into input 2, coming out of output 2. This green cable right here that's passing the camera, that is going to go into the pitch control. And you see right now you can't hear it at all because we have that LFO signal turned down all the way. So it's just nothing. It's like we're not passing any signal into this input. But if we turn up this LFO, it'll start slowly affecting the pitch. Ooh. Kind of got like a rhythm for a second. And the more we increase that, the more drastic the effects on the pitch is. But I'm going to stop the arpeggiator so we can just hear it affecting the pitch. 0. We're going to turn that up. You know, and that's just like a silly version of that, but a cooler version would be using it to affect something like maybe a reverb, or like a reverb dry wet, or a delay dry wet. So those would be like cooler versions of that. Yeah, that's pretty good for fundamentals. That's pretty much most of what I use VCAs for, you know, just to control the amplitude of a signal, to control the amplitude with control voltage, another use, to make it, you know, controlled based on like an LFO or an envelope or whatever voltage you have that is modulating. Or 3, you know, you can use it to also attenuate signals that are not audio signals, to control effects or control parameters more finely. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna just jam make a patch, make a cool patch. You're gonna hear me jamming, and then I'll do like an outro, and then that'll be it. And this, yeah. Hello. That's it. That's the video on the VCAs. This was a great one. Pretty easy one. You got this one. Next one is going to be on envelopes. Probably going to be going over envelopes and LFOs. I'll go over envelopes and LFOs, or envelopes, then LFOs. But that'll probably be the next video. So look out for that one. And thanks for all your support. Been seeing a lot of great comments. Keep it up. Keep up the great comments. I love it. It gives me motivation to continue to do it. So thank you. And yep, thank you.